Thanks for joining us on Matters of the Moment. My name is Udwak Ikang Obeten. For some time now, there have been this crave that Nigerian youths should have some skill acquisition. It's been a front burner issue that's driving the youths away from the mentality of white-collar jobs. There must be a starting point. The training aspect of it, not the street training or the regular trainings we have in carpentry and all of that. But good enough, the Cross River State government thought it wise to change the College of Education, Akampa, to the University of Education and Entrepreneurship. So on the program today, because it is a matter of the moment, a mind-boggling issue, we have the Vice Chancellor of the Cross River State University of Education and Entrepreneurship in the person of Professor Patrick Asukwo, who will be talking with us in the next 30 minutes on why the establishment of the University of Entrepreneurship. Good to have you on the program,
Thank
Prof.
you very much.
Thank you for driving all the way from Akampa to get us into what you're doing there. It's my pleasure.
Pleasure, ma'am.
Yeah, anytime they talk about entrepreneurship, what comes to my head is training, skill acquisition, and development. That's what comes to my head.
Okay.
And I begin to wonder when this whole issue came up. I was like, the whole University of Education and Entrepreneurship, what's the curriculum like? Where are we coming from? Where are we going to? Given the fact that entrepreneurship has partly been a course in most universities, but now ours is a whole university. Can you take us into all this process? What's the driving force?
Okay, first, let's start from a measure of appreciation to the burden bearer, and that is the governor of this state, distinguished Senator Prince Basiede Tutu. He came with the mantra of people's first. And of course, if you actually want to really prioritize people and make them first, you have to enhance their productive capacities. You have to build, and an aspect of enhancing that, their productive capacities, the building of their human capital. And he came up with the idea that if we want to really change the narrative of Cross River State, because we've been known, everybody talks about us as civil service. Okay. If we want to change that narrative and give us a new narrative and all that, then we must invest in people. Because the point is that from whichever way you want to look at it, any social change that has to be very significant, the human element is at the center of it. So the place to go is school. So he came up with the idea and got it, followed the due process, went to House of Assembly and got the law enacted and all that, and he signed the bill into law precisely on the 8th of January this year. And then I was appointed by the grace of God to midwife the process. And I got in my understanding of what he has asked us to come and do is that to produce businessmen and women. That is our primary focus. Although the university stands on two legs, one is education and the other one is entrepreneurship. But we're going by the recommendation of UNESCO. UNESCO looks at, there are two ways basically of looking at entrepreneurship. One, you can look at it as a business principle, You can also look at it as a lifelong principle. But UNESCO recommends the use of an interpretation of this term as a lifelong principle. So in our own understanding, in terms of implementing the curriculum, everyone who comes to a university, whatever program you have come and do, whatever course, whether it's in education, environmental science, pure science, or whatever, you must do entrepreneurship. It's part and parcel of it. The National University Commission, which is the regulatory body for universities in the country in terms of provision of curriculum and then the national qualification framework, in the last curriculum review they did, which they call CC Max, they provide 70% of the curriculum and then allow universities to infuse the remaining 30% of the curriculum from local content. So for us, instead of going to look for any other course to come and put into the, for whatever course you are reading, assuming you are reading guidance and counseling. Okay, already 70% has been provided by
guidance and counseling
by NUC. Okay, the local content is entrepreneurship. We crystallize. As a matter of fact, there are like about 48 units for each of those programs. So 30% out of that is about 14. So we infuse those courses like that for every course that we are doing. In addition to that, we also create, there are two routes. We also create another route apart from the academic route. There are two routes. You have the academic. You do all the courses, GSS, all the this thing and all that. But there is also the pragmatic route. We call it Akankpa Business School. Okay. That is ABS. In that route, you are essentially trained how to become a businessman. Because when you talk about entrepreneurship, it's not just skill acquisition. Yeah. Some people have that kind of wrong notion that is skill acquisition. Come and build workshop, come and do.
Yeah, that's what I told you, that the moment you talk about entrepreneurship, it's skill acquisition.
It's an attitude of mind. Of mind. That's what we say. The UNESCO was saying that develop this attitude of mind. You can apply it anywhere. I was saying, I say risk taking, problem solving, everything that you see. Whenever you see a problem, you're not running away. You're looking for solution. That kind of thing. We're developing people to become that, so that you change their mindset from just looking at. I'll give you an example. Like for instance, two people went to India. Two young men went to India for vacation from the US, and then they said, okay, let's enter the countryside and see how life is there, apart from the city, life in the city. And when everybody was just walking barefooted and all that, one of them saw poverty. Are we okay? One of them saw poverty. The other one saw an opportunity. So one of the things we teach is opportunity identification. So by the time they got back to the other one was lamenting, poverty, too much of it in this place. But the other one went, say, what can we do for these people? Look for just ordinary slippers, rubber slippers, and look for a company who can produce this and mass produce so much of it and carry it to that place. A few months down the line, he became an instant millionaire. While one of them saw poverty, the other one saw opportunity. So that's the kind. We're saying that it's a mindset, it's an orientation, so that you'll be able to very critical. You are very critical the way you look at things, very critical way of looking at things, and the way you appreciate things and all that, the way you respond to them. Not just saying that, oh, you see something and then want to run away. No. So essentially, by the time you now finish year one, you have finished first semester.
You have a solid background.
You have oriented, your mind is tuned, you begin to think differently. Okay, by the time you get now to the second year, you now work with a career center. So you work with them to identify a venture and we have categorized these ventures. You are still going on with your academic activities, and you are expected to spend between 15 and 25 hours every week in Akankwa Business School in order to be able to pursue these things that we're talking about. So you work with our career center then to identify a venture. We are not calling it a skill because it's a combination. We are using a composite sense in this, in that it has to be integrated. If your venture you are choosing is related to building, you must know how to do tiling, you must know how to do POP, you must know how to do brick, you must know how to do electric, and then you must know how to do plumbing. So that is a composite thing. That's why we don't call it a skill. There are a range of skills. So when you identify, a venture, you pick a venture, then you identify the people in career center will help you to identify the kind of skills that are required to be able to actualize whatever is your dream venture is. So once you identify that, then now have you to isolate the people who have chosen the same similar kind of this thing. Isolate them. There are people who will be coming. Like I say, our methods are not coming to give regular instruction or talking and all that. It's demonstration. We have, as I speak to you, there's a demonstration lab. We have a demonstration lab. We also have a simulation lab. Where do we get these people to come and do demonstration? The master tradesmen who are in our communities. Those are where we get them. They come, and then some of them will put them on retainership. Some of them come once in a while as guest lecturers. They come there and do practical demonstration. Anyone we don't have within the locality, we use simulation. So, in a nutshell, that is what the university is all about.
Yeah, from what you're telling me, we're moving away from skills acquisition. Remember, I said the moment you talk about entrepreneurship, it's skill development, training, and all of that. But you have told me now that it's broader than that. Given where we are and where we are coming from, the youths, of course, who constitute about 90% of your population there, seem not to be too interested in what we are talking about. So the mind-boggling question now is, how do you intend to foster this self-reliance?
Okay. The human being, the way the human being relate to reality around them is defined by certain parameters. One of them is if that thing has a value related to the individual. Okay. And then, because I'm just saying this because I have like example of people who are finished. They are finished the moment they heard of this and the kind of thing we are projecting. They have come back again to come and register.
Wow.
They say they want to start from the beginning. They have done, some who were in year 3, of course, College of Education Akampa was doing 5 education programs in affiliation to University of Calabar. I've got some people who have got to year 3 on that program, just the penultimate year to your final year. They say they run back to come and register. This thing is that what we are offering appear to be filling some needs and gaps in there are some utility value of something of value to them. So we're just saying that, like I tell parents, that instead of getting children to also go around and then begin to get carried away by these high-sounding programs, human anatomy, human physiology, and all that, at the end, when you finish, where are you working? The point is that even the white-collar job we were talking about earlier, now, they are very elusive. Where are they? So the way to go, you have a situation where you have people finish school, they finish, graduate, and then come and learn how to do tailoring. Yeah. It's a very common thing, very common. Yeah. So what we are saying that what we are offering, because education has bin taken out of our classrooms, we are bringing education back, and education that has utility value, education that that meets people, mitigates people's needs. So what we are offering is those kind of things that when people look at it, when you finish, we are saying that, like I tell some of us, our students, I say, look, when you finish, you are not going to look for a job. You are not being carrying paper from one place to another. You get to Calabar and hire one room. Okay? At night, that room is your sleeping place, but in the daytime is your business center. How? Like, for instance, assuming that you took the venture wellness, what are the skills related to wellness? We're talking about ergonomic, we're talking about aerobic, we're talking about fitness, we're talking about nutrition, we're talking about massaging, we're talking about, because we call it
which
wellness.
They are all trained.
All. So I'm saying that you have those skill, range of skills. By the time you pick all those skills, and then including, because we put, that venture is called wellness and beautification. You have manicure, and all that kind of business. When you hire that room, in the daytime, is your business center.
Yeah, Prof, let me I'm just being very excited about that now, because you did say something here that people finish from universities and go back to learn tailoring, manicure and all that. I had somebody challenged me some time ago on that. In fact, a Senegalese was like, you went to university for 4 years and you came back, you want to come and learn sewing. I don't understand, madam. You know, in Senegal, I learned how to sew for 12 years. And it was very funny to me, mind-boggling, yeah. And you've just repeated that now. So let me get into this now. Can you take us through the range of the programs? I know you may not finish it, but you have just highlighted one now, which is wellness and beautification.
Yes, ventures, the different kind of ventures.
So what are these ventures? Can you just highlight maybe a few of it?
Okay. We have categorized these ventures into for now we have quite a wide range of them. Yeah. We have, for this beginning session, we've had like about 25 of them. That book is what it contains wide range of them. Like I've just mentioned one, I say wellness and beautification. Then we have that one related to building. Okay. There is the one that has to do with catering. As a matter of fact, if you are doing anything related, you are choosing catering. All the things that has to do with baking, we expose you to them. All the things that have to do with cooking, and apart from that, serving and all that kind of these things, like I said, it's a composite thing, an integrated thing. We use a model, a Ghanaian model. They do not just come and isolate one skill and know how to cook. All of them. So there are things related to even mining. There are things related. There are quite a lot of, those things that we are put them, depending on your interest. It's an ongoing thing. As a matter of fact, we continue to, crystallize. They based on the need. Some are agro-related, agro-based business. Some are, animal-based or whatever. So many different things. So as a matter of fact, I'm saying that when you get to year 2, you look at this range, anyone that tickles the fancy in you, you pick it. Because what we are seeing, what is happening in the Western countries nowadays is that they focus on basic education. They teach you how to read and write, and then you can think and all that kind of this thing. Then they look into the womb of your life and bring out whatever you have there. They develop it and refine it so that you deploy it to solve problems for society. So that is, we are also building. There's things along, what do they call it now? The ICT related, the big data and all that, data science and all that. So
that is also in the package.
Yes, they are different. I'm saying that there's quite a lot of them like that. So it depends on what your interest is, whatever articles you are fancy and all that. You pick it and then we'll help you as much as possible. Identify the skills that are
we'll
related.
come back to that, helping you.
Okay.
If you're just joining us, you're watching the Vice Chancellor of Cross River State University of Education and Entrepreneurship, in the person of Professor Patrick Asokwo, a seasoned educationist. He is here to tell us about the curriculum and the setting of the University of Education and Entrepreneurship, Akampa. It's been an exciting exposition, very educative, to know what is going on there. Yeah, before we just went on that short break, you said something that you will encourage them, you know. So I now quickly picked on that, like you take, there's this adage that you can't take the horse to the river and force it to drink water. So that takes me to the question that how do you think you can get these young ones' hands through these practical trainings? How do you really think you can achieve it, internalize it? They are not doing it as, University of Education and Entrepreneurial Development.
Like I said earlier, that the thing is that the objective reality in our environment today is that the white collar job that people were trained using this other model are no longer there. So it's everywhere and all that. And that's why people leave school again, go back to go and learn handwork. So I'm saying that, I also said earlier that it seems as if education has been taken out of our classrooms. Because education is supposed to empower you and equip you for life. But unfortunately, the world is in the offer today around us. Most of the things we see, people chase after paper and come out, grades and paper and all that. You see them. What is surprise you is that let a graduate, if you say you are going to set up a school someday in the near future, call them and ask them, sit down there and tear a paper, say, apply for this job you are asking. You see the kind of thing that it wonders at you. But I'm saying that for the reality around us is that, look, you have to do something, to develop something in order to benefit yourself. So when we present this recall reality before you, and I told you, the first year of our work is to prepare your mind. We tell you about all the things around our environment and the dynamics in our environment today. The dynamics in our environment today, and then what is available for us, the gaps. So, and then we prime you as much as possible that, look, we have an alternative for you. And this alternative is that you get your degree. We say we provide here for you degree plus experience. You have your degree, and then there is another experience that we are giving to you. Recently, I was with National University Commission last week. We were talking about, because I went to meet with their Directorate of Entrepreneurship. So because since it has to do with, they are the ones, will they allow us to offer maybe like double major? You are doing both, in terms of the qualification we give to you and all that kind of this thing. So I'm saying that when you place this reality before them, that you don't have any other thing apart from developing your mind, your head, your heart, and your hand-on experience. And the way these things are presented, the way these things are, we are not using the regular method that we see around school today.
Yeah.
Practical things and all that. You get inspired, you get inspiration.
That has already been enshrined in the students.
Yes.
Yeah, Prof, given the fact that you are like transiting from a college of education to a university status, I begin to wonder the infrastructural capability of the school to cope with your new status. Okay. How are you managing these? What are you doing in securing funding for research and other backups in the school?
Okay, we have agreed. We came is an upgrade from College of Education.
Yeah.
And that is, as a matter of fact, what informed the first set of programs we crystallized with basically education related. But very soon we're going to go into environmental science and to go into management sciences. We're going to go into communication and media sciences and all that. So the reason was that when we just came and looked at the place, how many students can that a place take in terms of accommodation? About 700 and something, less than 1,000. And we said, look, if we throw this thing very open to all these other courses like that, we'll have a situation where we'll be matriculating between 15 and 25 students, to be very candid. I know what I'm talking about. So we said, okay, let's crystallize this one, and then after a while, now
but sorry, just to stop in there. I know you you matriculated close to 200 and
not 200, a little above 2,000.
You said that?
So that's what I'm saying, that just education.
Okay.
But the attraction there is that what we have on the offer, to be very candid. So when we crystallize the rest of this other program we are about to do, of which when we did that, we had to follow due process. We went to National University Commission. They came and looked at what we have and all that, what they call resource verification, and then gave us no objection. And those are the programs we are running right now. Then we gave ourselves time to be able to provide student hostels, enough number. As I speak to you, by the grace of God, we have one investor who has come. He's going to build 800 rooms. That will give us like 3,200 room space for bed space for students. We have got a bank also has come. He's going to give us 300. So on the basis of build, operate, and transfer. So we are also giving us 300. That is about 1,200 students. Yes. Okay, a base space we're talking about. So there are some other groups. Recently, I was interacting with the Housing Corporation in Nigeria. They said, look, they are coming not only for even staff, a student, even for staff. So we are doing those we are engaging differently with those kind of this thing. And equipment and all that His Excellency, Senator Prince Uchu, actually gone to do advocacy on behalf of this university with TED Fund. He went and then met them, and then as a result of that, there are certain things they have given to us. For instance, I said something about simulation, simulation machine that are given to us. And then there are some many other things that they are provided for us in terms of equipment, because their interventions for this year across all schools are meant for innovation, but they have given us additional things. Last week I was in Abuja. I went to that place they call Innovate, an innovation hub, because we require to be able to set, you're talking about facilities, how we're upgrading. We require an innovation hub. 2, we also require Entrepreneurship Development Center. 3, we require to have a demonstration lab, like I mentioned to you. We have those. There are structures in the school that we have all those. They just, sourcing for funds to be able to equip those places. Okay. Last week, on Fridays, precisely, I was with the Minister of State, who is an indigenous of this state, distinguished Senator John Owaneno. National Automotive Council. They came to our ground that we should give them a piece of land. They want to build training facility for us in this thing. So yesterday we were around. So there are so many of those things. I don't need to talk about them already.
Before their
initiative. We are making contact with all kinds of people and all that. And like I tell my management team, I say, look, it seems as if UEE has an open heaven over it, because we are enjoying favor, to be very candid, different wherever we go. Something like this one, just one chance meeting. the minister has promised that, they are going to do as much as possible to assist. But as we are going, they say, the SA now was saying, they have made contact with the governor to get the piece of land. I said, why, since our own institution is the entrepreneurship, why can't you bring this facility and put? He said, that's an idea. So okay, let me sound it to the government people, and eventually did, and then call back later. I said, look, they are very positively disposed to. Before I knew it, before yesterday, the deputy chairman of planning commission sent me a word and then called me, say, look, people are coming.
Yeah, you just said it that you didn't want to let the cat out of the basket.
Okay, that's what I've said down there. That was already taken. That one is already taken. Nobody will come and collect
it from you. Yeah, Prof.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for illustrating on all these issues so well. But let me practically ask you here, can you give us a graphic picture of, you just said here you matriculated about 2,000 plus. So what would you say is your student population?
Yeah, we had, like this one that I've said, we've been matriculated.
Okay.
2,000 plus. And then we had,
I think this one is my focus because these are the
yes,
graduate. No.
Now.
It's the new intake for the University of Education and Entrepreneurship.
Okay. Well, I thought that because you are
no. It's
that is it, about a little above 2,000.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, moving forward, I know that to whom much is given, much is expected. I can see a very huge responsibility. I don't know whether to place it on your head or on your shoulder. So I would want to ask at this point, what are you seeing as challenges, and how do you intend to surmount it? It's always in occasions like this that I say that it's good for corporate bodies, private individuals, good cross-riverians to synergize with issues like this and create an impact. So as the man at the helm of our affair there, the first vice chancellor of the pioneer vice chancellor. And indeed, your university is about the first in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, Africa.
In Africa, in fact. So your name is in the Guinness Book of Records. So, sir, what is the challenge? And how do you intend to go?
There are a few of those challenges. I've mentioned them some in passing.
Yeah.
We need power. Okay, we need power. For me, even when we had, Third Fund came here on retreat during December, the presentation I made, because they visited my school, the presentation I made, I was vying for a situation where we can have CNG, compressed natural gas. That if we have 2 megawatts of that, we have light 24 hours.
Yeah.
We can synchronize those machines. And those machines have capacity to live, to be for 50 years. I did sabbatical leave with Shell. That is what Shell is using, and I belong to Redeem. As a matter of fact, the Redeem camp was maybe recently, I don't know. That was what they have been using. Okay? So they have very resilient, and they can stay for, up to 50 years. We have somebody come and give us that too. Then recently there's somebody who has also have come that using steam engine, they can come dig a borehole there and then put machines and all that. And that thing generates heat from water that can provide electricity. So we have also engaged with that. And then these power plants, the people in the power plant, they have come to us to talking about seeing what. So one major problem, to be very candid, because we're talking about it, if we have, Entrepreneurship Development Center, we have an innovation hub, we have a laboratory for demonstration, for simulation, and for other workshops around. We should be able to power them. If we don't power them, there's no. Then there's the other thing is another challenge in the place is water having real water around the place. Akampa, this rock around the place. It's not very okay.
So you have hard water.
Hard water, and apart from that, to be able to get, it has to be this industrial, machine that can get water down the thing. So if we can have people who will come and support us, providing water, then internet, this is digital age. We cannot be talking about it without us.
Yeah.
So we need people who can maybe interact with us and then say, look, we provide, this for you. For manpower, people have been talking about manpower. I say we are not following the regular route.
Yeah.
Bringing professors and all that, especially for
it's the tradesmen.
It's the tradesmen. That's what. As a matter of fact, when we finished yesterday, we had to go and meet some of them, the automatic mechanics, and Desam House yesterday. We were there with the DG who came from this national automotive. So we have, basically, then we have the issue with our fence. We need a fence around our university. It's a major challenge. TEDFON has given us 1.5 kilometers in the last dispensation, and they are thinking of maybe doing one again for us. But if we have people like maybe NDDC or some other places or some individuals who come to assist us to get us to have a perimeter fence, it will go a long way to help us. I think.
Thank you very much, Professor Patrick Asoko, the pioneer Vice Chancellor of the University of Education and Entrepreneurship, Akampa. Like I've always said, Cross River is ours. A lot to be done there. It is not all about government. We have prominent Cross Riverians. We have sincere sons and daughters of the state and friends of the state. This is the time to identify with that project. And of course, putting your footsteps on the sands of time, posterity will not forget any kind gesture you put in there. A lot to be done. Why don't you go in, put up hostel? Why don't you go in, build a catering department, or maybe a hotel in Calabar, taking up the training of students who want to specialize on that, and so much to give back to the society if God has blessed you. And of course, I know God has blessed a lot of Cross Riverians. And apart from that, Prof, you can know somebody that knows somebody.
Yes,
so you help push the discussion.
Okay.
Thank you for being our guest.
Thank you.
We look
much.
forward to a greater University of Education and Entrepreneurship. And next time we bring you here, we hope and believe that the story will be different.
Definitely.
With RUPOS, buildings, and a lot of achievements.
Things.
Yes. Thank you for coming. And for the students out there, that is a place to be. Sure, that is the place to be. Thanks for being our company.